Yeah, the security issue in Nigeria has a chain reaction. In fact, it is far more encompassing than you tend to look at it. Um, because when the person in charge of a country is inept in understanding the dynamics that links a far divergent country as we have in Nigeria. Divergent in the sense that we have Nigeria as it is today is a blend of, is a mix of different social cultural heritages and different religions, uh, different climatic conditions. Basically, everything about Nigeria has a different make. And when you have a president that comes and is playing nepotism, uh, trying to cover up his own brothers, even irrespective of whatever heinous crime that his brothers commit, it only gives room for crime to, you know, to what's the word? Yeah, to pervade. It only gives room for crime to pervade the whole country. So what is happening right now, it's a fallout for the long uh, existence of the Boko Haram insurgent, of the northern insurgents. So it is the offshoot that we are seeing. Now, in the case of Edo State, it is further exacerbated by the NSAS protests, where the youths who were demonstrating in the NSAS decided to go and break prisoners out of the Edo State prison. More recently, I don't know if you're aware, there was a criminal that was caught with a bullet hole reading car, and he confessed that he was one of those that was released from the Edo State prison. In fact, when I saw those videos of the NSAS protesters releasing inmates from the Edo State prison, I wasn't surprised. I was sure it will culminate into what we are seeing today, and that the rate of crimes will increase in that region, because you are releasing people from the cell. Some of them are outrightly guilty. Some of them are outrightly guilty for whatever took them to the prison. It's not as if I'm saying everybody who goes to the prison is innocent, but you and I know that the number of those who are innocent are very, very little. But majority of those who are released from the prison are hardened criminals. So you're releasing people from the prison that have no skills and no willingness to go back to living a good life. So the only thing they know how to do is crime. And the fastest and easiest way is to indulge in the recent crime, more so that the kidnapping is now the in thing. So it is the fastest way you can go into millions of naira. All you need to do is to find a good target, kidnap the person, and demand a ransom that runs into millions. So
Exactly.
what is happening is that kidnapping in Nigeria has become like a lucrative job now, that every youth is willing to go, because it's the fastest way to make money in the crime world now. So the system, the Nigerian state, the system as we operate it right now, has made it alluring to wannabe criminals to say that it is the latest thing now that is going on in Nigeria. So we can it's everywhere.
It's like
It's not exclusive to Edo. It's everywhere. Even where I am now, somebody was driving into his house. The thieves waited in his gate and picked him. But one thing I must make very clear here, please. I was in a group where they removed me, Daughters of Truth. I was in that group, and somebody posted, and the post was trying to make it look as if Fulanis are the ones responsible for all the kidnappings in Nigeria. And I said, no, sir, it's not true. I don't buy into that. I'm not making a case for Fulanis. The Fulani headsmen have become a
no, not
terrible
really.
menace to
From
society.
what we have seen so
Yeah.
far over these years, not
They,
only Fulani
uh,
herdsmen are kidnapping, or only Fulani herdsmen are the bandits terrorizing the country. No, that is not true. That's not true at all.
Now, the truth is that in that group, they were trying to make
Mm.
it look as if Fulanis are responsible for all the
No, that's not
kidnappings in
true.
Nigeria. And I tried to debunk it, and I saw that they didn't like me, and I felt, no, I have been saying the truth, and I will not stop here. Fulanis are not in fact, this kidnapping is a lucrative business that is being engaged by all criminals, irrespective of whether they are Fulanis or not. As a matter of fact, it is even more alluring to the non-Fulani people because they believe that if they indulge in this crime, everybody will say it's Fulani. So it's even more alluring for them. It gives them a leeway to indulge in this crime because everybody will say Fulani. So Fulani, blaming the Fulani now has become a very good excuse to cover your own crime. So most of the crimes that are happening on our roads now, it's not exclusive Fulani crime. Other tribes are also engaging in
it. So this is, let me quickly read this article that I saw this morning. There was a tension and fear in Benin City headquarters of Edo State as news filtered in that an unspecified number of detainees reportedly escaped from detention at the state command headquarters of the Nigerian police on Saturday night. Okay, it happened on Saturday. Most of the escapees are said to be those arrested for kidnappings, robbery, and the ongoing court-related killings in the states. You see that? So this is not about Fulani herdsmen here at all. This is not Fulani.
At all.
As an, as an
okay.
immediate measure, some officers of the state command and others who were on duty at the time of the incident have been reportedly detained while they rode by the command headquarters, which was recently partially reopened after the NSAS protest was completely closed to traffic. Okay, so that is the news. These are the.
Let me also tell you something about what you've read.
Yeah,
what you've read clearly shows that there is a hidden connivance here, whether we admit it or not, is that our policing system has been deeply, profoundly compromised. We have a police system that is really, really, really compromised. And when you have a police system that is compromised, it's a precarious situation for a country because these are the people that you've entrusted your safety on. So if they are now colluding with the same criminals that you've employed them to protect you from, you can see that it's a terrible, terrible scenario here.
Yes.
So in fact, and then the policing system is not a problem that is exclusive to Edo State. It's a Nigerian problem.
It's not.
I think what we are experiencing today is an indication to show that Nigeria has outgrown a state where we operate only a federal policing system. It has become mandatory or evidently necessary that we begin to operate state police so that people begin to take their affairs into their hand. And then there will be competition. When you have state police, there will be competition. If you know that in Rivers State, the police there are no nonsense, it will force the those state police to also want to emulate the standard of police in another state. But you see, when you have a unitary police system like this, whereby if it fails everywhere. If it's good, which is never possible, but if it fails everywhere. We have a police system that
we are hoping that it will be possible that we'll have a police system that will help to regulate the crime.
No, we cannot have a good police system. Yeah, you see, you see, sometimes when I speak with a lot of people, the fact that they don't stay in the north, it makes me difficult to reason on the same level. If you talk to a policeman here in the north, a police sergeant or a police officer in the north, you'll be surprised at the type of employment that you have in the north here. There are police officers who can barely write down one single line, one single statement, and they are police officers. There are DPOs that can't even write their name, and they answer the name divisional police officers here in the north. So these are people who barely know anything about the intellectual strategy of policing, and then you employ them to police the safety of individuals. These are the same people who, before making arrests, they will pass information to the very person that they want to go and arrest, and then the person escapes. Then they return back and say that they couldn't arrest the person. You see, Nigeria is a terrible place. Nigeria is a very, very
It's a
terrible place.
lawless
For you
country.
guys,
There's no law in Nigeria.
for you guys who are not staying in Nigeria and you are in a society where things work. You see, when we begin to recount some of the anomalies in the Nigerian system, some of them are very difficult to comprehend. It is even difficult to digest it in your mind because it goes beyond anomaly. It goes beyond. It's incomprehensible. It's inconceivable to even begin to think that what we are experiencing here, really do exist.
We,
We have scenarios where police.
we were expecting.
Hello.
We were expecting the South region security outfit. Oh, oh goodness. Okay, the South security outfit braced. I think that news that we reported the other day was old news, something old, very old. I've not seen the.
Yeah, I sensed that too.
Yeah, the news was like early 2020. It was reported early 2020. So since then, we haven't heard from the South leaders if they are still working on this brace South region security outfits. So there's nothing yet. Like the Amot.
The truth is that let me quickly say something here. The truth is that our politicians, the governors, they've been compromised, particularly Delta State. You see, the moment Buhari gave Delta State, Justice Omar Agege, Deputy Senate President, and then Festus Keyamo. Festus Keyamo, by the way, is a schoolmate. We attended the same school. I know him very, very well. A lanky fellow, tall, lanky fellow, way back in government college, usually. But you see, the moment that they know how to play with our sentiments. The moment they gave these people this thing, they are now lethargic to even begin to embrace the anomalies inherent in the Buhari system. All because I was in a hotel in Delta State sometime, and the hotel manager was saying that when Goodluck was there, what did we get from Goodluck? But Buhari came. We now have Deputy Senate President. And I'm like, is this how we have been reduced? So they gave you Senate President. What importance is the Senate President to you? How did it change your life? That you have Senate President, has it brought development to you? Nothing. Since 2 years now, I've not even heard the Deputy Senate President speak. So they give us this second position thing in politics, and we masturbate over it when eventually this position they hand over to us, it's nothing. To the north is first position or nothing. They give Festus Keyamo minister for what? Some irrelevant portfolio, and we are masturbating over it. So it's funny. So because of these positions, the people of the Delta State, particularly the Urhobos, are now finding it lethargic to even begin to, oppose the government of the day. That is going to happen tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, and I'll give Edo, a Benin man, chief of staff. He becomes lethargic to criticize the government of the day because he owns a position. It's the same that has happened to the Yoruba man. Because they now own the vice president, they become lethargic to criticize the government of the day. We cannot continue to remain Southerners that they keep holding us at a very disadvantageous place because they give us positions that are rather irrelevant, positions that amounts to nothing to us. But we romance and masturbate with these positions that eventually is nothing to us. They amount to individual profile, but it bears no profile to the generality of the people of the South. So security-wise, you see, it's so funny because from whatever angle you try to attack the Nigerian problem, you find out that it opens a cankerworm of far more complex problems. So it's a terrible situation that even if you have Jesus Christ on your show, he'll be confused as to tell you some of the solutions of Nigeria because it's that bad.
Yeah,
it's really that bad.
Yeah, the problem is just too complex. Sometimes it's very difficult for you to even maybe search for solution to the problems. Honestly, they are just too complicated. How many can you solve in Nigeria? How many problems everywhere?
And the reason why we cannot have a problem because to the North, they play religious politics, and with the South, we play ethnic politics. The Edos want to play a politics that pretends to protect the interests of the Edo people. The Robos want to play a politics that pretends to protect the interests of the Robos. The Igbos want to play politics that wants to ensure that they remain dominant in the region. It's so complex. Where do you tackle the problem from?
You don't know. You really don't know. It's just
where do you look at the problem from? Where do you and at the end of the day, we are the one feeding the nation. We are the one feeding the nation. But because we masturbate over these inanities, in these trivialities that bear little or no relevance to the progress of the South, it further makes us remain in that bottom of the ladder. So much so that the people that have little or no qualification, little or no education, little or no exposure, are now the one ruling. Can you imagine in a country as big as Nigeria, you have a Buhari as president and a professor running errands, sharing trader money, whereas the illiterate, the dollar, the empty head sits in the office, whereas a professor goes to share money in the market. No professor in the North will do that. We have no, we seek political relevance, but we have no political integrity. That is our problem. We just go for the name. Osibanjo, the former vice president of Nigeria, is enough for him. He can die with that. That's all. But to the North, Sambo was a vice president. If he goes to another meeting and say former vice president, they will laugh at him. You are a vice president to an army. You are vice president to an army. It is nothing. It's a top or nothing. Why don't we also have that mentality that it is the top or nothing? But if we do play this politics, let us play it in such a way that it is we carry people along. Not this politics that we're playing where one idiot, they call him the Kano, wants to be the one that decides everything for everybody.
I think regional security outfits will help to reduce this high rates of insecurity in the South region.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But our governors who have romanced too deeply with the North, the North have secrets of every politician in the South, and what they do is political blackmail. When I meet you, Osage, I say, okay, you Osage, you did this, I have this secret. If you mess up, I release it. And because you know they have your secret, you tend to pretend you don't understand, you don't see what the North is doing. And the funny thing is that this same North, they have even dirtier secret than your own. But because they make you believe that they are the ones who can expose your secret, but you can't expose their own. The reason is if you expose their secret, the North will rally around them. But let one Hausaman expose one secret about one of our politicians. Let him expose that. Let him expose, for instance, that Festus Keyamo stole 500 billion naira. Oh my God! Now we go carry the matter for head. And when you try to tell them otherwise, they'll say, "No, I'm an educated man." Who told you that being educated? You see, politics is not meant for educated people. You don't play in the other broadcast when the other guy wanted us to discuss about the failure of Goodluck Jonathan. I told him that, look, I will not be a part to discuss my own. Never in a public debate. I won't do that. I will never.
No, we are trying to be fair in our analysis. That is why we are trying.
That is where you are. How many Northerners come? How many Northerners come on air and try to be fair? Hold on, madam. You can only be fair when in the whole how do I put it? In mathematical terms, in the whole set, when the whole set is willing to play fair. But if in the whole set, a subset in that set is not playing fair, then one set is playing fair. The set that is playing fair is the most stupid set on earth. You can only play fair when the other people you are trying to play fair with are also playing fair. When the others are playing dirty, you too, you should play dirty. That is politics for you. Every Southerner should understand that politics is a dirty game. You must be willing and ready to play politics as dirty as it is. Politics are so dirty that you see truth, you say no, it is not true. It's white. That's why they say politicians will not go to heaven. But we want to produce politicians that will make heaven. No, politicians are not supposed to make heaven, because it's the dirty game. You lie, you cheat, you kill. Look at what is happening in America. It's the dirtiest form of politics ever played in America. The dirtiest form of politics.
Yeah.
But that is not the subject for today.
Yes,
But we now we are trying to be fair. I don't want to hear that word fair if it's politics we are talking about. But if you want to discuss about child upbringing, parental responsibility to the child upbringing, marital destiny, and you want to talk about fair because you want to be fair to the wife and the husband, bring such words in discussions like not in politics. The Hausa man will never play. The Hausa man will never play politics fairly. They are not meant to play politics fair. They do anything possible. They killed their own just to get politics. The person who was the returning officer in Kano State, when he saw the figures, he said no, he will not be party to this thing, and refused to be part of that charade. They killed and burned him. What happened? That case is dead. They killed the returning officer. A thing that will happen in America, if that thing happens in America, it will be a worldwide news. The whole news will be agog with it. But it happened in Nigeria. An innocent man who wanted to play fair was killed, not only killed, burnt to ashes. And everybody has forgotten about that story. Are you aware that a returning officer was burnt alive with his family? He was burnt, his wife was burnt, his children was burnt.
Yeah, sir. You know what? Let's end this show. We'll come back again to discuss about Shawore, why he was arrested a few days ago in Abuja. So we'll come back again. I think Tinosa is here waiting for us. So let's just end this show like this while we'll